Welcome to the inspirational talk. And we just saw me and Bridget that we are doing an inspirational talk for all the questions you have. Sometimes they are popping up in the group or wherever. And we were so inspired about because we had the interview together. Me, I'm Julia Schmitz from Germany, and I'm having the inspirational coaching Travel Inside.
And I'm Bridget from Shift One Degree.
And where are you based?
So I'm based in Cape Town, and yeah, the driving force behind this was we just thought an idea of collaborating and working to help people feel inspired to finding their purpose, and that's kind of what today's topic is about: is what inspired you to be where you are today.
Yeah, right. And how this helps you to create your own life, to create your vision, and to get
Yeah.
into this life, what you're always dreaming of. And you don't have to dream of it anymore. We just talk about how you find it step by step on a real, yeah, good way that you can integrate in your life, right?
Especially now, because I think with lockdown and with people being restricted, especially in South Africa, we are very restricted with everything. It plays on your mind. It's emotionally challenging. I'll be honest with you, not physically, but emotionally, it's challenging. So to find some inspiration and to find something outside of that is phenomenal. It really is.
And also the chance that like things like pain or disorientation or all what that is coming up now to see as a gift for new development, creative life, that you have the chance to create what you really want and ask your essential questions, and that what we are doing
Yeah,
today.
so actually, because you're not spending, well, in South Africa, I don't know about Germany, but in South Africa, you're not spending money on going to restaurants, going to coffee shops, hanging out with friends, because we're not allowed outside except for like 3 or 4 hours in the morning to go for a run or walk or whatever. So now is the perfect time to actually spend the time and the money to work on yourself to be the best version of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And what we both realized is that if you talk about your most inspirational moment in your life, that gives you a clue what your purpose is, what you really like, what you crave for, what you love, right?
Yeah,
So what was
absolutely.
your most inspirational moment in your life?
Mine, without a shadow of a doubt, having been in the fitness industry for over 10 years. And when I left the industry and I was surrounded by people who said to me, yeah, but you're 40 and it's all you know. What are you going to do now? What are you going to do next? And the fact that I didn't listen to them and I thought, I'm so done with this industry and it's time for me to move on and actually completely go on a new journey, change and find a whole new path, that for me made me realize I'm actually able to do anything. So even though it's hard work, even though you fail a lot on the way, even though there's so many learning lessons, you bring in all the people you need, the coaches, the mentors, you upskill yourself, you go on courses, pay the money, do your time, but you can so find your inspiration if you're willing to let go of something that's holding you back, which is comfortable, right?
Mm. Yeah,
And for
that's also,
you, what would you say yours is?
I would say there are two most inspirational moments, because there's one I really felt like joy, flabbergast, wonder, and everything. That was also in South Africa when I was the first time there in 2005, when I entered a circus school. It's called Zip Zap in your town, and they have kids from all backgrounds and like black and white kids together, and they do personal growth through circus. And I was like taken by a little guy, like 6 years old black guy, and he said, have you ever tried flying trapeze? And I said, I'm a juggler, I don't want to do this. And he said, oh come, it's easy. And he was not really thinking of something, he was just guided by his joy. And I think
Yep.
this was, even if I was 25 at that time, but I had the feeling this was like, because I was like some seconds later I was flying through the circus on the flying trapeze,
Wow.
and there was another big guy, big muscles, 22 years older, so, and he just said, when I say go, then you can fall down. If you do it before, you die, because then you crack on your neck. And I said, okay. But it was such an amazing moment to
Yep.
fly, to have these um this feeling of freedom. Really, it was just some seconds, yeah, but it was like bam, having this firework of feelings, of good feelings of freedom, what I never had. I had it before, I guess, but I didn't really feel it that obvious at this moment. And since then, I had this virus of traveling and becoming myself. And I think it started with this moment.
And a huge part of that is standing. So whether it is leaving an industry that you know, and that's all you know, in my case, when I was 40, or whether it's a chance of you actually breaking your neck and being paralyzed or dying, the fear is the same. It's about being willing to do whatever it takes to have the freedom that you want. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and since then I'm on my way. I met coaches like you, I met inspiring people. And so I think since then, slowly, even if it's over 15 years now, I created the life that I really like at the moment. I'm juggling with everything what I love, like coaching, TV presenting and everything. So this was a really inspirational moment. At that time, I didn't know how powerful it was.
But you know what's very interesting for me is like the juggling thing was such a big thing for you, like the whole idea of the juggling, but the literal of the juggling. And it's quite amazing how now that is how your life is. You are not doing, well, you are, but it's not about the literal juggling, but it's literally more about the juggle between the things you do. And I think it's quite amazing because the more you develop yourself, the more you realize that things don't need to be literal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can use certain things to create other things, you know, and part of the juggling is, you know, it's movement, it's change, it's being fast, it's catching the balls, it's being on the ball. So by doing a lot of things, it's kind of the same thing. It's like an analogy. It's kind of the same thing, but it's not the literal juggling. So it's as you say, it's working for years on yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and also like for you, I guess it's the same. Somehow you mentioned in the other interview that you love to feed people, but what is the feeling under it that thrives you since years to do what you do? Can you do the connection as well?
I can. And you know, the amazing thing is when I have really, like yesterday was a bit of a horrible day for me. In my head, nothing happened. I just have certain days where just they're not great. And yesterday wasn't a great day for me. But as soon as I start getting out of myself and I start doing something for somebody else, whether it's trying to organize a food parcel for some of the guys in Kalicha, or speaking to somebody who's underserved and seeing how I can mentor them, anything where it's not about me, for those moments, that hour, whatever the time frame, I feel amazing. So whenever I do something like that, it's never about because I'm a good person at all. It's purely about it makes me feel good when I stop focusing on myself and I start putting that energy into other people. So yeah, I think the personal journey and to know yourself and to know what inspires you and to know why you are here in the first place is a non-negotiable. Like why you need to know why you're here. You've got to have a reason, a purpose to be inspired.
Yeah, and this is also like work to really unfold like all the layers to come to that what is your inner voice telling you, no? And also a lot of like silent work and meeting people that inspire you, and also like really asking you the right questions. And also if there are people now watching in the group, what is a question what you would say that really helps to go and dig deeper?
So my question would be like, and it sounds so kind of stereotypical because it's one that's always asked, but literally if you had 6 months left, and I'm not talking about going and sitting on the beach and drinking pina coladas because I don't mean that, but if you had like 6 months left, what is it that would feed your soul? What is it that would make you feel alive and make you feel amazing? Because when you do these things which you feel alive and you feel amazing, you almost want to package it and sell it or keep it. You know, it's the best feeling in the world. It really is. So that would be my thing. What would you do if you had 6 months to live, or if you even had a year? Like where would you put your energy to give you that feeling of absolute joy and fulfillment?
Right. And also
what would you say for
I would also add a question that helped me a lot to really think and watch also sometimes on your phone or on websites. What do you Google? What do you read the whole day?
Yes.
They are really hidden things, because for me traveling is such a big treasure, but it's also traveling inside now because of all the coaching and interviews. I love to dive into in the lives of others who inspired me, and to bring it out to that people in the world know about their unique story. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all of this traveling. And if I look down my timeline in Google or whatever, it's all about traveling, coaching, inspiring, and all that. Yeah, and that's also for each one who's watching. That could be something. Look at it, and perhaps it's cooking, or it's whatever, it's photography. Yeah, but what inspires you the most, and have a look through that, what's underlying it. And that's our
And
thing for
And I
today.
think to tie with that is also know where to upskill and know where to outsource. You know, and I preach that all the time. I literally do, because I think that stick to what you love and what you're good at, and the things that you aren't and you don't enjoy doing, outsource them. Pay the money and get somebody to help you, because you can't be brilliant at everything. So just focus on the things that you do love and you do enjoy doing, or even the things you want to upskill in, you know?
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's our little creative, spontaneous thing for today.
Yes.
And if you have questions as well, just write them under this post. Next time it will be live when we figure out the technique. And now you can
Yes.
just share your experiences, your inspirational moments. And if you have questions for next Friday, just put it under it. See you then.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye. See you next Friday.